What's up? What's up? Today I'm going to talk about a battle story. Not with fists. Ephesians 6:12. I'm talking about the battle of principalities. So ninth grade, freshman year of high school, we had this new teacher come into the school. We will call him Mr. Haywire. That's not his real name. I'm not here to throw stones. Anyway, Mr. Haywire became the social studies teacher. You know, social studies, learning about the different societies in the world. He was also an avowed atheist, and well, to my little pea-sized brain back in the day, me being Christian, a very zealous evangelist, plagued with the dogma of my day, I tried evangelizing him, trying to turn him Christian like it was my duty, which it is, but ultimately God does that. Now, before this man, I have never met an atheist ever in my life. Besides the ones that would say, no, I don't believe in God. No, this man had facts as to why he didn't believe in God. And that upset me. God did it. It upset me. So day in and day out, going to his class was an all-out brawl. In the spirit, of course. No hands were laid. He didn't hit me, okay? In my free time, I would even send him videos on Facebook about why Jesus is real. I would give him evidence of things from the Bible, but they really didn't land because he didn't accept the Bible as real evidence. And a lot of his arguments were science and fact-based. And I could tell now, at least, that he was holding back because he was having mercy on me. I was a young earth creationist. I drank the Kool-Aid, okay? And then one day, the world's religions topic came up. And that's where I definitely saw an agenda. An agenda that all the world's religions are equal, including atheism and including Christianity. Look, if you know, you know. I'm gonna continue with the story. So not only was he opposing Christianity, but he was also trying to bring up the world's religions. He did this subtly. It wasn't blatant. And by the year's end, we pretty much were at a stalemate. I had a summer of really big questions that religious leaders in my community could not answer. That school year continued without his presence, but I started taking some science classes in that year. I was a straight A student, and I loved truth. But again, that science teacher didn't like me very much, kind of targeting me. I had some other influences come into my life, and by the end of that year, I pretty much did not trust God. By the end of that summer, I converted to atheism. And then lo and behold, the next year, I took another science class with Mr. Haywire as the teacher. He moved classes. But by this time, I pretty much respected him. I went to college and majored in biology because of this reason. Evolution being the main argument for why I left Christianity in the first place. I felt that battle, and I felt that battle hard, but because I wasn't restricted by religious institutions, I was able to consume freely what science taught. And a lot of what science teaches is very true. There are some deceptions, and, we need to be discerning whenever it comes to that, but, a lot of the principles that are taught in science and math are true. Now, I felt that battle. I felt that battle hard, okay? But one battle is not the war. Now I continue my studies in science freely alongside reading the Bible. God, this is not spoke upon a lot. God is a God of knowledge. The toils in science are a fruit. Can good trees be planted in science? Yes. Can bad trees be planted in science? Yes. We see many spirits behind many different aspects of science. They take the fruit of man and they twist it. Can we take the fruit of man's science and bring it back to God? Yes, we can. A lot of Christians, at least in my part of Christianity, are very quick to anger. They lack patience in this area whenever science topics come about. Rightly so, the devil comes speaking truths and then a little bit of lie. But how much do you depend on science for your everyday life? The actions aren't matching the words. Is this double mindedness? I fully believe in Jesus Christ and the Trinity, the resurrection. I believe that the Bible is a historical document. I fully believe in miracles. My apostasy was healed. Okay, that right there is a miracle from God. And I think if we get to the bottom of it, we can definitely use science to give God glory. Thanks for listening. If you want to support my channel, everything that I do, I'm not just a one-sided channel, but everything that I do, I devote to the Lord. Leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment on any of your battles. Tell me if you think that this battle was from Satan himself, the enemy of all things good, or was it God behind this? And always have a good day.